So hello students, today we are going to discuss is the molar distillation appliance. So the next appliance that we are going to discuss in the molar distillation is the K-loop. So the appliance that consists of the K-loop, it consists of one component that is the K-loop and other is the Nance pellet. So what is the function of this K loop? So this K loop will provide force and moment. What this K loop, this one is the K loop. It provides the force and moment, whereas it has a Nance pellet that is used to provide, that is used to resist the anchorage. So this K loop, this question was asked in your AIMS entrance exam, identify the figure. So this was K loop. So remember it for your INI-CET examination point of view. Now what is this K loop made up of? So remember this K loop, it is made up of 0.017 into 0.025 inches TMA wire. So why do we prefer TMA? We prefer TMA because it can be activated twice as much as the stainless steel before it undergo the permanent deformation. Where a loop that is made up of TMA, it also produces less than half the forces one made with the stainless steel. So remember, each loop of this K should be 8 mm long and 1.5 mm wide. The legs of this appliance are at 20 degree. That is the point that you have to remember for your exam, that the legs of K, they are bent down at 20 degree. They are bent down at, the legs are bent down at 20 degree and they are inserted into the molar tubes and the premolar bracket. So the wire that is marked at the mesial of the molar tube and the distal of the premolar bracket. The stops, they are bent into the wire that is 1 mm distal and 1 mm mesial to the mark wire. So each stop should be well defined and about 1.5 mm long. So what will these bends do? So remember, these bends will help the appliance. It will keep the appliance away from the mucobuccal fold. So these bends, what they will do is they will keep the appliance. So they will keep the appliance away from the, these bends will keep the appliance away from the mucobuccal fold, allowing a 2 mm activation of the K loop. So remember, these are 20 degree bends in the appliance legs. What they will do, they will counteract the tipping moment that are created by the forces of appliance. And these moments are reinforced by moment of activation as the loop is squeezed into the place. So what will the molar undergo? So remember, the molar that will undergo a translatory moment. So the molar will undergo a translatory movement instead of the tipping. So if the extrusive or intrusive forces are not desired, then it is important to keep the K center between the first molar and the premolar. So for the additional molar movement, the appliance is reactivated. The appliance that can be reactivated 2 mm, that could be done. So we can reactivate this appliance we can reactivate this appliance after 6 to 8 weeks. So if the appliance that is opened in the proper sequence, the reactivation will maintain the original mechanics. So in most the cases, what we see is the reactivation, it will produce as much of 4 mm of the distal molar movement. Now, second component was palatal Nance button. So these button will help the wire extended from the bands on the first premolar or deciduous molar, that will prevent the anterior movement of the first premolar teeth. So this button should be large enough to provide adequate anchorage and prevent the tissue impingement. It should be kept away from the teeth. So this was all about the K loop. So it is important, as per your NEET entrance exam, there was a question asked, identify these appliance. So we have discussed the appliance that is K loop. So this figure was asked in your AIMS INICT exam. Identify this. So remember it for your updates.